Government shutdown continues while Americans are feeling the impact. Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining us here at ABC 7 at 5. I'm Marcel Clark.
And I'm Paul Sikala. Millions of people in the federal workforce and the military are reporting to their jobs without pay today. That includes thousands of people from right here in the El Paso area. Others were told to stay home, wondering just when they will see their next paycheck.
Yeah, and today Democrats once again voted down a Republican bill to temporarily fund the government. Democrats are demanding Republicans reverse cuts to Medicaid and extend expiring Obamacare subsidies to prevent insurance premiums from rising. ABC 7 has a breakdown of what you need to know right now. Federal agencies have deemed certain services and employees essential, which means Social Security payments will continue. Air traffic controllers and TSA employees will keep flights moving, though without paychecks. And veterans can continue to receive medical and critical care through the Department of Veterans Affairs. The Department of Health and Human Services says the Food and Drug Administration will still respond to emergencies, but be limited in the number of inspections it can do, which experts warn could put the nation's food supply in risky territory.
If this goes on for a couple of weeks, that there could be food safety outbreaks that couldn't be coped with. Significant problems could occur in the supply chain.
The shutdown also stalling the admission of new patients to National Institutes of Health clinical trials unless medically necessary.
So if we're on deck for a clinical trial, that will stop.
The Department of Agriculture says nutritional programs like SNAP benefits can't continue until funding runs out. And the Department of Education says federal student loans will still be dispersed, and borrowers are still required to make their payments to avoid default and delinquency. The Department of Interior says national parks will stay partially open, a move sharply criticized by park advocates who say it's dangerous for the public to have access, with more than 9,000 agency employees furloughed. And the next time lawmakers are expected to take up the vote to fund the government will be on Friday.
In continuing coverage, Fort Bliss confirmed to ABC 7 that it is also following the normal operations during the government shutdown. Fort Bliss says that it anticipates minimal impacts to daily operations short term. Essential missions will continue and facilities such as the commissary and child care will remain open. Emergency services will proceed like normal.
Well, new at 5, like we mentioned, millions will be impacted by the government shutdown around our nation. And ABC 7's Ty Marshburn has why this is happening and how it could affect you.
There are 18,000 federal workers in El Paso. Here at the airport, federal workers are required to come to work even though they won't be paid. Military and civilian workers are also among the list of those who won't be paid. The shutdown comes after Democrats and Republicans in Congress were unable to reach an agreement on short-term funding, with each side blaming the other for the shutdown. Congressman Tony Gonzalez posted on X saying, quote, "Despite good faith efforts, Senate Democrats refused to pass any kind of budgets yesterday and effectively shut down the government." Congresswoman Veronica Escobar says in the past Democrats and Republicans worked together on an agreement for a short-term funding bill. But this time, Republicans are disregarding Democrats.
There's been no compromise. There's been no negotiations. This is very unusual.
With the uncertainty around when the federal government will reopen, some people may be looking for resources. And coming up on ABC 7 at 6, I'll tell you what resources are available for federal workers. Reporting from El Paso Airport, Tyon Marshburn, ABC 7.
All right, thank you, Tyon. To extra context on the federal shutdown, the U.S. is no stranger to closing down when no deal is reached to fund the government and pass the spending bills. Since the year 1977, there have been 20 shutdowns. Some lasted as short as a day. The one happening right now marks the 21st shutdown. The longest shutdown was back in 2018 during President Trump's first term. It was also the longest shutdown in history, lasting 35 days. For more ABC 7 extra reports, you could go ahead and download the KVIA ABC 7C TV app. You can find it on Roku, Fire TV, and of course, Apple TV.